Hello there. In this video I'm going to show you how to download the Linux kernel source code and basically how to compile it. So uh, first what we need to do is that we are going to just check which kernel headers we have at the moment. So you can go like here, like to your computer, basically to root, right? And then USR and then source, and then we have this one, right? So you will have this one. I already downloaded the kernel that we're going to compile, but like basically, let me show you how you can download this file. What you need to do is to go like on the internet and basically check for kernel.org. Give me a second. Okay, that's right. Okay, kernel.org, right? And basically here are the kernels. So I previously downloaded this one, the 4.19.148, but this is the update. So right now is the 4.19.151, like the one that I'm showing, like the most recent one from the time I downloaded it, right? So you need just basically to copy this one. So you just right click and copy link location, right? So it should be something like this, like like this one, tar.xz, right? So this tar.xz, right? So also we're going to check which kernel version we're using. So in order for us to do so, you need to use this command, uname -r, right? So here you have it. If you want a little bit more information, there you go, right? We're using the 120 generic, which is supposed to be this one, right? So what we need to do is basically like well, if you don't have this one, then what you need to do is run this command, sudo wget, and then you paste the command, the link that you copy from kernel.org, and then you basically going to start downloading it. But I already downloaded mine, so then and basically like it's going to download to the where the terminal is pointing at, right? So if you want to download it to this one, to this source folder, so you first have to do like using like source, and then just basically run this one. So the wget is going to copy it to here, right? So you see it was already downloading it, but I don't want it right now, so oh, sorry. I'm going to remove this one. Okay, there you go. So after downloading it, which is like uh, this is okay. I mean, like I remember it was bigger. Give me a second. Okay, I checked and it seems to be okay, right? So what we're going to do right now is basically we're going to decompress the file, right? So for what we need to do is just basically run this command, and then the tar.xz, this one. So it's going to basically start creating this file, right? The .tar. So that's the reason why I got a little bit confused, because like this one was with just 100 megas, but this one is around 800. Yes, there you go. I'm sorry, right? So after basically we decompress it, we need to untar it. So just this one. I'm sorry, this one, and then the tar that we just generated. Oh, sorry, .tar. There you go. So basically, right now is I'm tarring the the source code, and you see that actually there is a folder here, right? And it's basically creating and like all the contents here, right? From this point on, I will suggest you to activate some stuff, right? Oh, because again, this is the Linux that I'm using is Linux 16.04, right? So this is Unity, but if you are using a more recent one, you're going to have Genome, right? Or and But like in this case, what I would suggest you, like, just a couple of things to make our lives easier, right? The first one is that actually I'm going to change this, like, over display, so I see always the menus here at the top, and also like I'm going to change the preferences, so I like the folders show me the basically the hidden files, because it's like we're going to modify some files here, right? So okay, so now that we already have that, um, we already have all this, like this is basically the source code of the kernel, right? So what we're going to do is that we are going to uh, copy one of the config files that actually they are already working on this system, right? So we're going to copy it from the boot folder, and we're going to use this one, uname -r. So it's just like the we're going to copy the config file from the version, the kernel that we are running at this moment. Then we're going to create our own .config file here in this folder. So when we run this one, it's oh, sorry, we need to get into this one, Linux 4.19.148. Okay, and basically we just copy it, and there you go. So basically we created this one. Okay, so let me erase the one from here. .config. Okay, there you go. So we already have this one here. Let me go back inside. Okay, so if you're using terminal, basically you can use like ls-a, so you can see all the hidden files, right? So then what we need to do, we need to install some libraries, right? So we're going to basically install build essential, also this one, bison flex, what else, like this one, ssl dev, and leave elf dev, right? So that one will take a little bit of time, right? So let me pause the recording, and I will just come back when it's finished. Okay. Okay, it's done. So basically installed all these libraries, right? If you didn't run the, okay, sorry about that. As I was saying, that actually like the libraries got installed, right? So if you didn't run the update and upgrade, and like this one, and then an upgrade after after you just installed your machine, then basically like you might get an error saying that actually you don't have like the correct basically the information to to install the libraries, right? But in this case, like I already did it before, so we'll just basically use the update, right? And so you need to run these ones before installing the libraries, so you don't have any problem, right? So later, what we're going to do, right now we already have all this, and we already have the source code of the kernel, so we're going to basically modify some stuff to enable KGDB, right? So inside of the folder, like still inside of our Linux kernel, I'm going to run make menu config, right? So it's going to basically start doing this, and it's going to show you this screen. Okay, let me make it a little bit bigger, right? So this screen basically enables us to select some options for the kernel, right? We are going to take care, basically just verify this one. In kernel hacking, we need to scroll all the way down, and there will be an option that says KGDB. It's here, right? So that one has to be selected. So it says KGDB kernel debugger, right? So we're going to enable that. Just save, right? It's going to ask us to save it like as another file, just .config, okay, right? And then we just exit. There you go, right? So after selecting all those things, we need to do something else, right? We're going to basically check, sorry, here in the config, some information about KGDB, right? So we're going to check on this one. We need to check that the KGDB, like the entries with KGDB, they need to be enabled, right? So this one is enabled, this one enable. This one is disabled, so we're going to enable that one, right? So this is in line 9591, right? So we're going to modify that with nano.config. Okay, so in order for us to go there, we need to do with a control underscore, and it's line 9591. Also 591, right? So there you go. So basically it's like this, right? And then it's going to modify it, right? So like this, yeah, sorry, there you go. And then what we need to do now is basically start building. So like this, make and -j, and we're going to use all the CPUs that we have for this virtual machine. In this case, I have two processors with 2 cores, so in total 4 cores. But if you only enable one, then it would take longer, right? This step will take a lot of time, so you have to be careful, right? Oh, let me just check it this one. Yes, reload. So it was reloaded, right? So then it's going to ask us our questions about KGDB, right? So we're going to enable it, right? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so then basically just type this one, 1B1F100. Yeah. And there you go. So basically from this point on, it will take around 1 hour to finish, well, depending on your machine, right? So let me pause the recording and just go and get some coffee and let it work, right? And see you guys right back. All right, the command is already finished, so it took a while. It took almost, as you can see, the time is almost 1 hour, well, a little bit more than 1 hour. So now we have to run another command that it will take also a little bit of time. So it's basically this one, sudo make modules install, right? And we need to let it work again, so it will start doing this, and it will take a while as well. So I will just come back when that's done. Okay, so right now the command is over, and right now that actually is done, I remember something, just in case you guys need to well, because actually in one of the later steps I will show you how to get into the machine when it's in debug mode and you wanna, for example, make a change, right? So in case that actually you need to do something, sometimes you need to comment this out. This one, this one, because we uncommented it, right? And we basically type the type of test. But in case that actually when you need to access it, you can just basically let it like this, and then recompile. Basically, run again the 2 commands like make and make modules, right? And that should take automatically out this one out. I mean, just comment it out, and basically you will be able to log into the machine, right? So after that one, we are going to basically run another command, which is sudo make install, right? And that one is going to basically well, with this one we basically finished the section of making and like building the code of the machine, right? Now that this one is being done, right? If you go to the boot folder, right, like here in the root boot, right, that one right now is generating. So this one is 4.19.8. Okay, there you go. So right now this one is going to be generated, and at the end it will wait around like between 400 to 800 megas, right? So that one we need to wait for it to basically be done. And we need to also be sure that we're generating these 4 files, right? This one and the bm linux with a z, right, and system app and config, right? But this one has to be like a little bit bigger. It has to be like between 400 to 800 megas, right? So this one we're going to wait for that one to finish, right? And well, uh, after this one is done, what we need to do is to basically let the group to know that actually we're going to use this one, right? And we're going to make some small changes, right? With those small changes, we are going to basically access this kernel. So I'm coming back when this one is done. Okay, so that one is done, and basically, as you can see, actually this file is almost 500 megas, right? So right now we are going to basically update the group, but before doing that, we're going to basically do this one, mfs ck, and basically the kernel that we're going to work with, right? So basically it's going to generate the new version of this one, right? And also we are going to basically modify the group. So let's wait for a moment for this one to be done. Okay, that one is done. So right now we're going to basically update the group. So like we're going to do like update dash group, right? So it's going to update it, right? Now we need to do something. When you turn on the virtual machine, basically it doesn't show you like the possible kernels where you can restart. So what we're going to do is that we're going to update the group, right? So what we're going to do is just like basically we're going to modify the config, right? So basically we're going to do this one and this one, right? We're going to comment those out, right? And there you go. And after that, okay, so basically like this, and we're going to again just update the group, right? Yes, basically everything is commented out, right? And then what we're going to do is that we're going to modify the config file. So first, like in this folder here, like group, right, there is a group.config, right? So under boot group.config, right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to look for the first entry that says the keyword Ubuntu, because that's what we're working right now. And basically we're going to look for this line, the one that says Linux, right? So we're going to add some options here, right? That line is line 148, so we're going to modify that in nano, right? So we're going to modify this one, so it is boot grub, and is grub.config. So we're going to go to the line 148, right? And there you go, here. And we're going to basically let it know that we are going to basically work with KGDB, so it has to wait for it, and then we are going to let it know like the way how it's going to communicate, right? KGDB, we'll see, and it's TT1S1, and then the baud rate 15200, right? So with this one, basically we are with these commands, we're letting the computer know that actually he has to wait for KGDB, right, for KGDB connection. So then we just basically save it, right? And this one should, if we reload it, so basically on this line now we see kgdbwait and kgdb. Please be careful, like if you make a typo here, then you will have to basically like bypass the wait, and basically like on the kernel I'm going to show you how, and then basically like try to come back here and modify it, right? Okay, so at this moment everything is fine. We're going to basically go back to the host machine, right? Let me turn it on, and on the host machine it needs to have the serial port connected, right? And we're going to basically move the compile code, right, from the target machine to the host machine, as we did in one of the previous videos. So what we're going to do right now is that like if you go to the compile kernel here, like let me go back, like this one, source and our kernel, right? So there should be a VM Linux, this one, right? This is around 500 megas. If you see here, that's right. Here is around 500 megas. So that one is basically the file that has all our symbols, right? So we're going to move that one to the host machine, right? So give me a second. Okay, so right now what we're going to do is basically we're going to do the scp command as we did before, right? So but first we're going to keep an eye on where it is. I mean, like, we're just not going to like to save it in the desktop. We're going to basically create a special place for it, right? So we're going to basically here in boot we're going to create like this folder. Well, I already created it, but for you to do it is just basically sudo, okay, sorry, boot, right? And then you just run make dir kgdb image, right? And then, well, in my case I already did it. So then you create the file, right, like the folder. And right now I have this one, but because I just compile, I mean, like, this is for another test. So let's do it again, right? So in this case, let me erase this file. Okay, so Linux, okay, so right now that's basically what you have. So let me basically copy it back. So we're going to run the same command that's before, scp, and the user from the target machine and the IP address, which I forgot right now. Let me take a look. The IP address is this one, right? And then here, and where we wanna what we wanna copy. We wanna copy this one, USR source, and that one. Okay, so it's, oh, sorry, this one source, Linux, and then our kernel, and then we wanna copy basically VM Linux, right? And because we are already inside of the boot KGDB image folder, we just have to basically put a dot, but there's a space between that, and it's going to ask us for the password of the target machine, and it's just start copying it, right? So depending on how your host machine, like resources, it might take a while because it's like a big file, but in this case basically just a couple of seconds, right? We're going to wait for it, right? Okay, there you go. So here we have, and basically our we are in the folder that actually has the VM Linux file, right? So what we're going to do right now is basically to start doing to run KGDB, right? So at this point everything is okay, right? So what we're going to do right now is we're going to turn off the machine, right? We're going to well, before doing that, just verify that actually the serial port is connected, right? So in this case is connected, right? And also it is connected in the host machine, right? Because right now we're going to start using this one with KGDB, right? So we're going to restart, right? So when it restarts, right now you're going to see the grub, and you're going to basically see like the extract, this one. Okay, so you will see this one, and then you have advanced options, right? So in advanced options you will see like the generic kernels, and also like this one, which is ours, right? In case that actually you need the GUI and access the files again, you can just basically just come here and like get inside one of the generic ones. It should work, right? And or there's another option, right? In here in the option Ubuntu, right, you press the key E in your keyboard, right? And then you can just basically scroll all the way down to this line with Linux, right? And as you can see here, it says like kgdbwait and this one, right? So if in case you need to access also, there's another option which is like you just erase this one, just delete this one, and basically like on up to the word quiet, and then you just press Control X on your keyboard, and it should basically log into your computer, right? But in this case, we're not going to do that. We're going to basically get inside the machine in the debug mode. So enter, right? And there are two options. Either you reach this purple screen and it doesn't move from there, or you reach a black screen, which is what is happening right now. We're going to reach a black screen, and basically it will have the KDB keyword inside. So let's wait for a moment, right? In the meanwhile, there you go. So here it says KDB, and it's basically say like enter KDB, and it's waiting for connection from remote GDB, right? As you can see here, right? So now we're going to basically connect on the from the host machine to the target machine, right? So in this one, in the target machine, right, what we're going to do is like inside of the folder where the VM Linux file is, right, we're going to basically just access as root. There you go. So okay, so how you see if actually you access as root is basically you see the pound sign, right? So then what we're going to do is basically run gdb dot slash vm this one, right? So it's basically reading the symbols from VM Linux, right? And we reach this gdb basically entry point, right? So at this point, this is basically just accessing GDB, but we want to connect to our target machine, right? So what we do is like basically just run target remote, and basically the port that actually we're connecting to, right? So here this says the remote debugging, right? So at this point, we are already connected to the machine, right? So basically we're connected in this one. So we can set up breakpoints and in like the kernel functions. I'm going to show you that how to do that in the next video, but for just for finishing this one because it's quite long already, like if you want to continue this virtual machine and let it boot, basically you just type the word continue, and it says continuing, and basically this machine like restarts as normal, right? So after a couple of seconds it's going to basically go to the login screen, and basically you can just log in again, right? At this point, this one, there's no, because we didn't set up any breakpoints, right? So whatever happens, like here is like it will work as a normal machine, and it will never trigger any breakpoint again, right? So if you wanna basically set up some breakpoints, you need to restart the computer and basically reach the waiting for the remote GDB screen, and then you can just start like doing some of the to create some of the breakpoints. So I'm going to show you in the next video how to do that. We are going to basically need some documentation from the official Linux kernel, well, the documents, right? Because we are going to start debugging the kernel functions that are grabbed on system calls, right? And we are going to create some small programs to try to trigger those.